Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be White Knight finds out his girlfriend isn't so innocent. Well, this particular email just brings up the issue of it's like, man, these are just not good conversations to have. So this guy started dating this girl. He's 26, been following my work for 6 years, read 3% Man 15 times. He said he waited a long time to sleep with his girl out of respect for her. I don't know if that was his idea or she made him wait, but he says her dad is a preacher, and so I guess she didn't lose her virginity till she's 21. I think she's also yeah, they're both 26. So she's been sexually active for the last 5 years of her life. And so she slept, I guess, 5 different dudes before him. And what he's upset about is one of the guys was kind of like a one-night stand, and she was raw dogging it with him. And it's like, why would you even go into that? I mean, what you're really trying to evaluate in the vetting process is character. Character's destiny. Because just because she's a virgin and you're the first guy that slept with her, or in this case, you're the 6th guy that slept with her, does not mean she's going to be loyal and faithful. I mean, her dad is a preacher, by the way. And preachers' daughters, they tend to be a little whorish, quite frankly, because dad is just too much of a religious nut or a control freak to the point where the daughter just hides everything and lies to him and is dishonest. And unfortunately, those things happen. And so you're trying to find out, is she going to be truthful with you? Is she honest? Does she respect and admire her father and really like her dad? Does dad, in other words, is dad the ultimate authority in the house? Does she respect him, or is she always hiding shit from him because he was a Bible Nazi, if you will? When parents are too controlling, the kids just hide things from them. And then the kid gets killed wrapping their car around a telephone pole because they were drinking or doing drugs or whatever. And meanwhile, the parents are like, I didn't even know my son or my daughter drank. I didn't even know they would do those kinds of drugs. It's like, because you don't have a good open relationship with your child. Your child had to lie and hide everything because you come down on them all the time. If you're a parent, you have to create the conditions where, I mean, especially when kids get to be 12, I mean, from that point on, you're like a trusted advisor. All you can really do is advise them, and sometimes you got to let them hit the wall and fuck up. Because it's the pain and the fucking up that makes them realize, yeah, shit, should have listened to dad, should have listened to mom, they were right. Because, again, when they get to be 12, they're going to start to question your authority. And if you just come down on them or constantly punishing them for everything, then they're just not going to tell you stuff. And then that's where real tragedies happen, is that people don't have good relationships with their kids, and the kids just lie and hide shit from them. And then the parents find out what's really going on when they're not around, when it's too late. And so in this case, because especially when you listen to the red pill dunces, these guys think that because a girl's religious, or she's Christian, or she's Muslim, or she's Catholic, or she's Jewish, and her parents are religious, or shit doesn't matter. Character is destiny. I went to a Catholic high school, and I saw all kinds of ratchet shit happen from the wealthy, successful elite and their offspring. It was like, I mean, I've talked about this in the past in many videos. It's like, you got to evaluate people based upon how they're showing up. I mean, when I was growing up, that stuff I thought was common sense, but it's clear it's not so common. And it's just delusional to think that because a girl is religious, or her parents were religious, or she's a Christian, or whatever kind of religion, that she's just going to be the perfect woman, always going to be loyal and faithful to you. You don't know what you don't know. And unfortunately, sometimes the preacher's daughter is a fucking whore. That's just reality. Doesn't mean so in this case, but as a man, you have to have an open mind. Just, oh, I'm dating a preacher's daughter. I've hit the lottery. Woohoo! I got a mostly virgin, and she's going to be loyal and faithful my whole life. It's, nah, if you act like a bitch, women are going to treat you like a bitch. If she walks all over you like a doormat, if she walks all over her father, treats him like a doormat, doesn't respect him, if the mother doesn't respect the father, she ain't going to respect you. That is just a fact of life. And so when you first start dating, people are going to hide who they are for about the first 90 days. And you should not be allowing yourself to get in la la land with your emotions, because that's going to completely blind you. And then you won't find out till 8, 10 months, 12 months down the road after the honeymoon period that you got into a relationship with a girl that ain't loyal to anybody. So you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And so this guy's all upset about the fact that his innocent little child, his innocent little girlfriend, had sex with other dudes. And what's happening is he's all self-conscious about it now. How could she? It's like, women do stupid shit. They have one-night stands, they drink too much, and they sleep with somebody they shouldn't have slept with. It's like, it's absurd to listen to these red pill dunces that think they understand women, and when all they did was get their noodle wet once or twice. It's like, we're sexual beings. We all got here through sex. If you're watching this, congratulations, you're here because your parents fucked. That's what happened. And your dad slipped one past the goalie, whether it was on purpose or not, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to evaluate a woman's character if you're thinking about getting into a relationship or being in a relationship. And getting upset about the dudes that she slept with because she told you all the gory details, it's like, these are just not questions that you need to know. You just need, was she loyal and faithful to her previous boyfriends? I mean, like I've talked about, the average girl, if she's just sleeping with 2 or 3 different dudes a year in high school, most women become sexually active, typically freshman year. They date a guy for 2 to 3 months, they're going to probably sleep with them because all their friends are doing it. They're looking for love. They're naive. Especially if they're hiding everything from their parents, they don't know. So it's pretty easy for the average cute girl to be sleeping with 2 to 3 different dudes a year. Not because she's whoring herself out, but maybe she dated a guy for 2 or 3 months and slept with him, and then he fucked it up afterwards. Or she found out he was cheating on her or whatever, so they broke up. Then she starts dating somebody else. It's like, that's just how it goes. So by the time the average girl has graduated college, it's pretty easy for her to have slept with 20 different guys. That really upsets most men, but those are the numbers. Again, I went to a Catholic high school. I just saw it, and these were the wealthiest, most successful, most religious families in South Florida. If I told you the names of some of the families, children I went with, you'd be like, whoa. So it's like, when I see these idiots, the red pill guys, getting all upset and, bent out of shape about this stuff, it's like, they're just naive and delusional about the way women really are. You just have to find out, is she going to be loyal and faithful to you? Granted, you're not going to want to wife up a chick that slept with 500 guys, but 5 dudes by the time she's 26, I would say the body counts, that's a pretty low. Surprisingly low, to be honest with you. So he says, hi, Coach Corey. I'm a 26-year-old male, and my girlfriend is also 26. I have been following your work for the past 6 years. I have by far read your book over 15 times, and I love your work. It's absolutely phenomenal, and you changed my life. I have recently come across a situation that you haven't discussed in your book, and I need your help to figure out what to do next. My current girlfriend I have known since I was 7 years old. So this is like somebody's known his whole life. So he's known this girl for 19 years. Most of his life, he's known this girl. They grew up together. So he's gotten to see her up close and personal. Was she loyal and faithful to her boyfriends in high school or middle school, whatever the fuck it was she started dating? Was she loyal and faithful to her boyfriends in her 20s? Those are the questions you need to know. Does she trust her father? Does she admire her father? Does she respect her father? Does she trust his leadership? Is his decision the final one in the house? Or does she constantly countermand him and talk shit to him and walk all over him and treat him like a doormat? Because however she treats the father and however the mother treats the father is typically how the girl is going to treat you. That's just the way it is. Because that's how they were trained and taught. She was my first crush ever as a kid. However, she did not like me growing up. Ooh, naughty, naughty, naughty. I would often see her as a child choose other guys over me. Well, when I was growing up and I was in high school, 20% of the dudes were fucking 80% of the women. And when you look at the dating apps, it's still the same thing. 20% of the guys are fucking 80% of the women. That's just the way it is. That's the way the world works. Alphas are getting laid, and the cowardly betas are fucking Rosie Palms and her 5 friends. That's the way it's always been. She's been a part of every stage of my life, from elementary school to middle school to high school and even to post-college. Now that she is my girlfriend, I have found out a few things about her past that kind of bothers me. It's like, no guy likes the idea of his girl or the thoughts of his girl fucking some other guy. It's like, I had, at this point in my life, I have so many friends who have his kids or they're adults. And then when we're hanging out and having beers, and me and the guys and the girls start talking about other people they used to date or have sex with, even though the kids are adults, they don't like hearing about it. They get up and they go in another room. They don't want to hear about mom and dad and who they used to fuck or whatever. It's like, it's kind of funny, but this is just not something you really want to broadcast. And as a man, you're just trying to find out, was she loyal and faithful? You don't want to know all the... she's been with 5 other dudes. You really want to know all the gory details of it? It's not going to help you. Help you evaluate her character to know if she was loyal or not. But this guy's known her his whole life. Since they were children, they've known each other. So he's been able to observe her through most of her life and see what her character is like. And so now he's like, oh my God, my girlfriend had sex with other men and actually enjoyed it. It's like, oh, I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. He says she spent a year sleeping with 3 different dudes. She had sex with one guy in a week, raw, and another guy she dated for 8 months. Then immediately after breaking it off with him, hooking up with a different dude in their second week of dating. Yeah, because she was in a rebound. This is normal. This is what human beings do. Listen to a bunch of red pill incels with guys that fucking just don't have a clue about women, telling people how they should be, or it's like thinking that, you gotta have only a virgin. It's like, this is so ridiculous. Guys that talk like that, it's like they just are not experienced. So you're listening to a bunch of fucking incompetents give you advice. My issue here is that I waited so long to sleep with her. Well, that's on you, as a way to show her respect. Come on, man. You've been following me all this time. I'm gonna be respectful. They're all a bunch of fucking whores. If they weren't a bunch of fucking whores, we wouldn't exist. However, after learning that she was so easy to sleep with in the past, it kind of makes me feel like she was rather cheap and just gave herself away. Again, what's happening is you're coming up against the reality of the real world. Not the Disney fantasy that you projected onto your girl. It's like, this is so unsurprising to me. It's like, water's wet, the sky's blue. Oh, she had a one-night stand because she was brokenhearted over a breakup. Oh, she slept with a guy after a week or 2 of knowing. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. She is a preacher's daughter and waited until she was 21 to have sex for the first time. That's pretty unusual. But since then, she has become very hypersexual and had allowed about 5 men to easily sleep with her. Well, you're the 6th guy. Congratulations. Again, compared to the Catholic girls I went to school with that came from much better families and wealthier and successful families than anybody you know, it's like, water's wet, sky's blue. Anybody crying over it is a fucking incompetent with no experience. I'm struggling with this because I had never imagined her to be the type of girl to give herself away sexually the way she has. 5 dudes. She slept with 6 men by the time she's 26. And this day and age, that is shocking that it's so low. What should I do? Shut your fucking mouth. Stop worrying about it. Get over yourself, dude. It's not going to help your relationship if you get butthurt, because all it's going to do is make you look insecure and make you look unattractive, and then she's going to test you more. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you willingly throw a hand grenade there? Maybe because she rejected you your whole life, and now that you're with her, you still feel inadequate, like you don't measure up. Or maybe you're consuming too much red pill nonsense that's very nihilistic and just causes men and women to hate each other. I got an email the other day from a guy that was at some kind of event, and he said there was one of these red pill guys got up and in front of this whole I don't know, couple hundred or 1,000 people, however many was in there, and just berated women. All women suck. They're horrible. I mean, this guy, got dicked over by a couple women that he dated. Now he's angry and he's pissed off and he's bitter, and his whole shtick is trying to convince that all women suck. And so this guy starts talking, and what happens? Almost all the women got up and fucking left when this guy started running his mouth. That is not somebody that is charming or that women like. If you're giving a talk and a lecture and almost all the women in the room leave, you're a fucking douchebag. You're a douchebag that doesn't understand women. And if you listen to douchebags who get on there and they go on those red pill podcasts and they talk that nonsense and they do nothing but berate and belittle women, it's because their balls are the size of BBs. If they're getting that upset and that butthurt over women and how they are, that dude's got some serious fucking mommy issues, and he's fucking a lot of dudes up that have the same problems as he did. You should not listen to people like that because they're idiots and they're incompetents. I always appreciate your advice and look forward to your response. It's like there's no reason to talk about it. Again, it's like the more you harp on it and you try to give her, she's your girlfriend now. If you stay with her and you live happily ever after, you're going to be the only dude that she sleeps with, hopefully, for the rest of your lives. Is she being loyal and faithful to you? Can you trust her? Is she giving out her phone number to other dudes or not? That's what you're trying to evaluate. Does mom respect the father? Does she respect her dad? Does she listen to her dad? Does she love and admire and look up to her father or not? Does she think her father is a bitch? Does she hate her dad? Does she have daddy issues? What is she like? What is her character? Can you trust her word? Or do you catch her in lies all the time? That's what you got to find out. I mean, getting upset over the fact that she slept with 5 other dudes and raw dogged it. I mean, pretty much every guy that's ever existed has at some point got his heart broken and went and typically hooked up with a girl that he maybe regretted later because he was on the rebound. How many of you guys have hooked up with women that are just devastated over a breakup? Women know instinctually that the best way to get over a bad breakup is to meet somebody new and to hang out, have fun, and hook up. Women understand this typically better than us guys do. But the guys that can't get laid or ain't get laid or haven't been getting laid, they're the ones that get the most upset about it and are crying the most about how much sex that women have. And so if you're listening to dudes that are constantly bitching about how much sex women are having and complaining about it, it's because they ain't getting any pussy. And they're incompetent. And so you should unsubscribe and stop following these fucking morons that don't know what the hell they're talking about. You got to evaluate all people in your life based on their character and how they treat you. That's it. Because if you project your fantasy, oh, I got a virgin, oh, I got a girl that's only had 2 boyfriends her whole life, she'll never cheat on me, then you're going to be one of those dopes that finds out 10, 15 years later that half your kids aren't even yours because you married the fantasy and you didn't remain objective until it was too late. And you ignored all the red flags and the lying and the devious behavior thinking that, oh, well, her body count's low. Or at least what she told you seemed low. It's just ridiculous. So if you guys haven't joined the members only content, we do 6 video newsletters like this one per week. And if you subscribe on my website, understandrelationships.com, if you're watching this video on YouTube, in the description, there are links to take you to my website. If you pay up front for the whole year, you get a 25% discount. So you get 6 additional video newsletters that are exclusive to paid members only. You get the 3% Man study group where we go page by page in 3% Man. We have the Mastering Yourself study group where we literally go page by page in 3% Man. And then once we get all the way to the end of the book, what are we going to do? We're going to go back to the beginning of the book and go through it again. And so it's myself and Chunky and the girls going through it because everybody has read the book in the study groups. And so we're discussing the concept really in depth. And plus we also have the podcast where we do viewer questions, where we have all of the questions that we answer during our film sessions. We usually do like one film session a week, and we probably get through about 10 to 15 different questions per podcast. We have all of those in the members area. If you would like to subscribe on YouTube to the members only content, the link is below in the video description. And if you'd like to watch just the videos only on Spotify, you can subscribe there as well and watch the videos on Spotify only. But if you prefer to have the email analysis and you like a nice big fat 25% discount for paying the annual fee, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, or on the top of your screen on any page of my website and sign up. And if you got a question or a challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.